Can you see it? This will be my canvas. Okay, don't draw within it.
Perfect opening line. So what are the first things we're going to be seeing?
I mentioned Slayers earlier, so I'm going for Slayers.
Yo, I'm doing it. Now I don't know if I should do it.
You know what's funny, Jacob, is when we were doing the Sonic episode, I dug up a fun fact about Blaze the Cat. She has the exact same hang-up as Lena.
Really?
I'm not... That's no joke. This is actually canon. And then Lena Inverse and Blaze the Cat have the exact same insecurity.
I mean, it is...
About her chest?
Yes! Okay, what is this? What is this thing you're drawing, Nebel?
I'm gonna start with saying it's Lena. I will not elaborate much further until I'm gonna turn off my other keyboard and draw this.
Shoot, I just realized I have been around Nebel long enough that I should have spotted that the red one was him.
Are you getting too familiar with how I draw?
No, it's just for a second I thought your layer was Jacob's. I have actually seen I think all the Slayer animes. Next is the best one.
Yeah, I agree. I think I only didn't see one of the movies, but other than that I've seen everything. Wish I could read also, but not everything's translated, unfortunately.
With how hard some Japanese media was to get in the States at the time, I can only imagine how much worse it was out in Poland.
Well, you'd be surprised, actually. I think we have a lot of stuff that the US doesn't have, but I haven't been keeping up with it recently.
Oh, I recognize that spiky hair anywhere. I know exactly who this is.
Yep.
Is he an Angie boy?
Do you realize how little that narrows it down?
Oh, sorry, Blight. I didn't realize you were here.
Wait, was that from Batman Beyond?
Yeah.
That is.
Oh yeah.
That's You killed my father. Do you have the slightest idea how little that narrows it down?
For some reason in Poland that show was named Batman 20 years later.
I mean, it's
like 50 years later, I think.
I thought it was 40 years later.
And something like that, but it always...
They decided to put a number on it.
Yeah, it was Batman 20 years later, but... Okay.
I made Hiei extremely angry. Look at him.
He's the Angie boy.
I'm pretty sure Hiei was not the original edgy anime boy.
Oh no, definitely not.
But he probably was a popularizer of it.
Yeah, he. From what I heard, he was actually the inspiration for Sasuke.
That makes so much sense. Oh, Lena discovered internet trolls.
Oh, more. I'm gonna elaborate on that. Oh, you know what? No, you know what? I won't. I will not elaborate.
And Jacob's doing the other running gag for Lena.
Yeah. That's actually the one I stole for my comic, so... yeah, I have the always hang character.
I actually like that Slayers, instead of just playing the gag as a gag, they actually gave it a reason in universe for it to exist.
Yeah, I tried to do that too.
You know, like... Well, yeah, in Slayers, like, the reason why Lena's constantly eating so much food is because her magic burns a ton of calories, so she has to constantly keep eating to keep her energy up.
So it's kind of like the whole Flash thing, where Flash eats a ton of food because his super speed burns through his calories real quick.
Yeah, but in this case, it's magic.
I love how we circled back to the first game. We managed to fit in Sonic and DC.
Hey, I can fit in Sonic multiple ways with this alone, because in the English dub for Slayer's Lena Inverse was voiced by Amy Ortiz, and she also did Amy Rose in like the early 2000s. Yeah, at least in the Sonic X anime, I know that for sure. I don't know if she was in any of the games. Funny story is that she credits her brother for getting her career started, because what happened was he stole her car and she ended up needing a ride back home, and the person who gave her a ride just so happened to be someone who worked at a voice acting studio.
What are the odds?
Probably about the odds of you being on a first name basis with the voice of Genkai.
Yeah, her and I are have become pretty good friends, I would say.
Yes, this is actually no lie. Dylan actually knows Linda Young, the original voice of Frieza and Genkai Yu Yu Hakusho personally.
Yep.
Whoa.
Japanese dub of Lena Inverse, Megumi Hayashibara. I think she also sings some of the songs for the show.
Oh yeah, I love that stuff.
Yeah, that was pretty I think it still is pretty common.
It is, like, a lot of voice actors in Japan double as singers.
Yeah, I think she recorded an entire album and released it quite recently, relatively.
Megumi Hayashibara has actually got quite the long career. She's been in a lot of shit.
We have Evangelion, I think, and lots of other stuff. Cowboy Bebop.
She was Faye in Cowboy Bebop,
was Faye,
wasn't
yeah.
she? Yeah. Oh man, she's doing the Navy SEAL copy pasta.
Oh no!
She is still
no!
She is still getting trolled, isn't she?
I mean, look at what it says from the computer.
Flat lol. About the only way that could be more on the nose is if you put a smug Pepe face over it. Oh my god, you're actually doing it.
Oh no!
Lena absolutely would be thin-skinned enough to not being able to handle getting trolled over the internet.
I feel like she would Navy SEAL copy pasta and I
Well, she would, but it would be more like I graduated at the top of my class at whatever Magic Academy she studied at. And it was probably one of the best things I actually liked about Slayers was that they actually pull off a lot of heroic feats. They save the world multiple times, but they're also some of the stupidest people around.
Yeah, the jokes are great in it. You remember that scene in that was Slayer's Try, I think, when she gets a letter from her sister?
Oh yeah.
And she builds the pyramid.
And the cop, and she is just like,
yeah.
Her older sister is the one person Lena's actually terrified of.
Yeah, I love that.
I also had Slayer's Try wasn't as good as Next, but it had a few good moments. Another good one was when Gowry just through sheer intuition figured out that dragons learn other languages because otherwise they get bored.
Yeah. Yeah, he always had those moments of accidental insights, I guess.
I am guessing Dylan is putting in Brock from Pokemon.
Just wait for it.
Damaramaru will ever regret this.
Now there's a deep cut.
I saw it.
Dragon half.
Yes.
It only had 2 episodes in the entire OVA, but oh my god, were those great episodes.
Out of the 4 they were supposed to have.
Hold up, but Brett Weaver actually had some funny insight into why Damaramu always kept referring to himself in the third person.
Mm-hmm.
It's so he doesn't forget his name.
I mean, a distinct possibility in that show, yes. Okay, so I joined the anime club when I was in high school, right? And one of my friends was president of the anime club, and she decided to, and she would bring in anime every week for us to watch, and she decided one week to bring in Dragon Half. The thing about the high school clubs is that they would be overseen by a teacher. And eventually we get to the second episode with the fight against a dog, I think. And there's the part where her bikini gets blown up and the nipples fall out. My friend completely forgot that happened when she decided to bring it over, so she had to make a mad dash from the back of the room all the way up to the TV to cover the nipples herself.
Imagine if she... Oh god, imagine how much worse it could have been. She could have brought in La Blue Girl.
I don't imagine she would have.
I don't know. Blockbuster used to stash hentai right next to the kids' section back in the day, remember?
I don't actually remember that.
Blockbuster's trying to groom your kids. I'm just kidding.
Okay. I exaggerate. It wasn't I don't think it was actually hentai, but they did put a lot of... They did mark a lot of anime movies movies for kids that were not for kids.
Yeah.
Okay, finish drawing Brock. Look.
The classic.
There's actually a story. Someone I know told me. He lives up in Canada. He tried watching Elfin Lied, right?
Oh god.
And it was on a TV thing, and it was actually rated for children. They rated it for children on their TV thing, and he only made it up to the part where that little girl and her dad, that scene, right?
Uh-huh.
And so, okay, so he called the rating board, whatever. He's like, hey, do you realize you have this anime labeled as for children? And they're like, yeah, what seems to be a problem with it? And then, he describes the scene, right? And then at some point, or it got to a point to where he was on the phone and they had to actually put up that specific scene on the TV just so they could see what he was talking about, right?
Yeah.
When it got to that scene, he could hear one of the people from the rating board, in the background, yell, "What the fuck?"
They didn't even watch it, did they?
Tell me
no.
Without even watching it.
And then it immediately changed the rating to TVMA or whatever they have over there.
Kind of reminds me the botched 4Kids localization of One Piece.
A lot of 4Kids is a big tell me you didn't watch it without telling me you didn't watch it.
Well, no, they watched it. Otherwise, how else would they have edited out all the blood?
Clearly they didn't when they acquired it.
Yeah, and then they did, and they realized, oh shit, we can't show this on our Saturday morning cartoon block that is intended for young children. We have to edit some of this stuff out, like all the blood that Luffy gets covered in, and change that one guy's gun to a cartoon hammer.
That just goes in a bunch of different directions for reason.
Change Sanji's cigarettes to lollipops.
Yeah, what was that anime that in China got all the blood turned to white?
I have no. Oh god, I have no idea. Well, no, it's Spy Family's not the only one. They've done it to apparently they're doing that to a lot of them.
I just love the fact that they think that it's somehow
it's better, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, you know what? Blood is too much. What we need here is semen. Lots and lots of semen.
Funny story, you guys ever seen the movie From Dusk Till Dawn?
Yeah.
Yes.
So you guys know, in the movie, the vampires bleed green?
Right, yeah, I remember.
Yeah, vampires bleed green in From Dusk Till Dawn. That was their way of getting around the ratings board, because apparently, let me put it this way, all the blood that would have been in that movie if it had been normally colored would have put them over an R rating.
Yeah, I would imagine they, in many cases, go with green, because I think in Germany they often censor blood, and green is usually the go-to color for that. So when I heard they did white in China, it was like, of all the colors you can choose, why go with white? You could go with purple, you could go with blue, you could go with anything. No, let's go with white.
Certainly, there will be no unfortunate implications from white being splattered everywhere.
You know, the fact that he's always referring to himself in the third person, I could almost imagine him doing something like one of the Rock's promos from back in the day.
Can you smell what Damaramu is cooking?
Finally! Damaramu has come back!
It doesn't matter who Damaramu is!
I am willing to bet Brett Weaver sort of based his performance off wrestlers. The delivery just kind of seems like that. Also, Brett Weaver is a hella underrated voice actor. The guy's never been a mainliner, but every anime he's in, he's always really good. Jacob, I do not recognize what I assume is a chick.
Yeah, that was supposed to be Major from Ghost in the Shell, but...
Kusanagi.
Yeah.
Yeah, now I see it.
Right.
Now I see it. Yeah, now I see it. Speaking of Ghost in the Shell, I talked about this on Twitter last night. I have never seen a case where an adaptation diverts so wildly from the source material and ends up being considered the definitive version of it.
Yeah, I think the similar case would be with The Shining, I guess, when the adaptation is so far off from the book and it's still appreciated as much, if not more.
Although, like Matt Krotz, though, he quote tweeted that post I put up and said, like, yeah, Shiro's scripts are a mess, a labyrinth of diversions, anxiety-inducing, like an Adderall-boosted fever dream.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that at least in the second book. But it's been a while since I read it.
Like, there's kind of this attitude that adaptations should try to be 100% faithful to the source material, and then you get, like, well, like I said, Ghost in the Shell might probably be one of those exceptions, because you look at you take a look at the source material and you realize this would not actually make a good movie.
Yeah, I mean, that's the idea behind the word itself, yeah, adaptation. You need to adapt it to a different medium.
It is kind of like a case like The Shining, because once Oshii got his hands on it, he just pretty much stamped it with, like, all his little quirks. Like, I love Mamoru Oshii. Like, the guy's work, he's never made anything I think I disliked, although a buddy of mine told me about a live-action film he directed, which apparently is not very good. I haven't seen it.
Are you talking about, what was it, Avalon, I think?
I don't know. I don't remember the name. All I remember is he told me is it's not very good. There was another anime that Oshii did that he told me about. This one was supposed to be like, and I'm gonna break out the finger quotes here, more experimental and art housey. I think it was Angel's Egg.
Oh, I think I heard the title.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Yeah, but that live action film he did, that was Avalon, and it was done in Poland, so that's why I know it, because it had a lot of, Polish actors, and it was filmed in a Polish city that is known for looking very post-apocalyptic, I would say. So
really,
yeah, it was in 2001.
I'm just more surprised you guys have a town that's known for looking post-apocalyptic.
Well, it's like a joke, because it's a big town and it's very, it's like a art center, I could say, but it has a lot of places that are not quite, not quite up to snuff, I guess.
Like
up to modern standards.
Sounds like it's got a lot of buildings that were built during the Soviet occupation.
Well, it's mostly full of industrial stuff that was built in the 19th century, and that also was a fun thing, because there was an old movie about exactly that, about industry in 19th century, and it was very much praised in the US for having wonderful sets, that they built so amazing, convincing sets, but it was all old buildings that were actually, used in that time. So yeah, it was actually filmed, and they thought it was all, sets for the period piece that the movie was, but actually those old buildings were there all the time.
So so if they're like really old, they're not just old, they're also probably abandoned, is the vibe I'm getting.
Yeah, mostly, yeah. Now they've been like converted into all sorts of stuff. So yeah, it's probably not as much of a dump as it's joked as being, but it just has that patch on it that stayed. And when Mamoru Oshii came to film a post-apocalyptic movie, everybody was like, "Oh, of course he did," to that town. Perfect fit.
I would also not be surprised if a lot of metal bands filmed music videos there too.
Yeah, and it's also a big, has a lot of comic-related stuff. It has a lot of galleries with comics. But yeah, I was there once for a exposition, I guess. What's the exhibition? Oh yeah, exhibition about comics, and we had to go through some dark alleys that you felt someone will stab you there. To get to the exhibition, you went through some dark stairways and basements and everything.
Sounds like
through
the
all
last
that
time
old.
I was at the Expo.
Yeah.
Jeez, if I wanted that feeling, I could just go to the homeless camps
Seattle.
out in Seattle. Oh, Damaramu's blood has been turned to sand! Damaramu will ever regret this!
So do people in Poland like attack tourists and say this is Witcher country?
Oh god.
This is Witcher country. Yeah, you can be lynched for hating on The Witcher. I can confirm that.
Holy shit! Holy shit!
Has anyone tried?
I don't want to put that to the test.
Yeah, some people have tried and they regretted it.
Damaramu never regretted it.
Yeah, but nowadays people are being very, very sarcastic towards The Witcher as well. They lost a lot of goodwill, both the book writer and the game devs, for obvious reasons, I guess.
I'm gonna guess the Netflix series hasn't gone down too well either.
Yeah, but we have we are already used to crappy shows about The Witcher, so we have that in our country already.
Oh yeah, I'm aware. I know of that.
This isn't a new atrocity.
Yeah.
I've seen the clip with the dragon and like, wow.
Oh yeah, that's a classic. Yeah. Yeah, because with the show, the story was that I think the scriptwriter or the director, someone who made the show, he only read the comic book adaptation of the book. So, and that adaptation had all sorts of its own problems. So, he was going with a very incomplete view of the source material.
I thought the Netflix show had it bad because supposedly, I heard Henry Cavill had to constantly tell people things they got wrong on set because he actually had read the books.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. I mean, writers nowadays just don't give a crap. With Halo.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
It's like he's a cool dude. It's just a shame that he gets parts with absolute.
Yeah, he
I
deserves
don't care.
better.
Yeah, he does. He absolutely deserves better. That's for sure.
Although I think I remember reading somewhere that he would much rather prefer spending all his days playing WoW instead of acting.
Well, WoW and painting his miniatures.
Custodes and building
He has a Nannerman army.
Hey, Custodes, they are top tier. Jacob, I know this hat. Is this Vampire Hunter D?
No, actually not. That's Helsing.
Oh, it's Alucard.
Yeah.
I mean, it's similar looking. Between the two Vampire Hunter D movies, I would say I liked Bloodlust a little better.
That's the second one?
Yep.
That's the second one, yeah.
Yeah, sure. I mean, the first one was sort of a product of its time, but man, I don't think it has aged all that well.
I remember seeing it for the first time and seeing the comparisons, and yeah, the difference was pretty evident.
Not only that, Bloodlust was just better directed because they got Yoshiaki Kawajiri to do it. Same guy who did Ninja Scroll, if anyone doesn't know that.
Ninja Scroll, oh yeah, I remember that, yeah. Ah, that makes so much sense now.
He's giving Kaiba the Anya face.
Oh no!
Specifically Season 0, Kaiba.
I drew 90's Jotaro. That still counts.
Yeah, it's close enough.
I mean, a lot of JoJo is very much very much 90's anime. It doesn't feel like it.
I mean, the funny thing about that thing's production is they did not have enough money to adapt the entire run. So they decided, you know what, we'll just go with the second half in Egypt since that's the part everybody likes, and we'll just make something the fans will want.
And then years later they adapt the first part.
They actually threw quite a lot of money into that OVA, at least for the audio. I think they actually had the audio done by Skywalker Studios.
Yes. Yeah, that's why it sounded so good, the sound effects.
Yeah, it's got a level of audio production you typically do not see in anime.
Do you guys know the story behind what was it? The first Digimon movie?
No.
I am intimately familiar with that, but please tell it, Dylan.
Okay, so there's like one short where it focused on Tai and his sister, right? And how they seem really close, right?
Mm-hmm.
So apparently there's like this interview that came out where I guess the director was trying to convey that Tai and his sister were or Kari were a lot closer than a brother and sister should be. I don't know how to approach something like this. It's just like, yeah, that's a thing.
And here I thought you were going to tell us the story about how how it's not actually a movie, but 3 unrelated OVAs that Saban Frankenstein together to make a movie.
Oh, you mean like they did that Witcher movie in Poland?
Oh,
Wait, what? They actually... Hold up. That... Explain.
Yeah, they did a movie that was just scenes from the TV show spliced up together into a movie.
Yeah, I watched the entire thing.
Oh man, I'm so sorry.
Well, because I was really getting into The Witcher, so I thought I would try it. And it's like, what is this shit? Like, Bob Chipman should have invaded your asses for that.
What?
Oh.
No, listen. Bob Chipman's final solution is only for the US.
Okay, so... Who's this, Jacob?
You'll see. That's also a 90's character that is very close to my heart, I can say. Maybe you'll see when I draw the lips. Okay, and now when I draw this...
Are you drawing Alita?
Yeah.
Yes!
Up there.
I have the entire collection, by the way.
You mean the manga?
Yes.
Have you got the Mars Chronicles too?
Actually, no, not that one, but I have Last Order.
Alright. Yeah, I'm just...
I do plan on getting Mars Chronicles.
Yeah, we're just getting Mars Chronicle. The Last Order is just getting released here, so I'm getting it right now. But yeah, I have all the leading up to it, everything. Yeah, it's one of the first comics I've ever read.
Nice.
Nebel's doing Psycho Yugi.
Well, yeah, that happened in the 90s.
What is up with that first Yu-Gi-Oh anime?
Well, it's adapted from the first 8 volumes of the manga, and the Yu-Gi-Oh was first pitched as a horror comic.
Really?
Yeah.
I read a lot of the original Yu-Gi-Oh. It was drastically different.
So, Yugi putting together the Millennium puzzle and getting bullied by Junichi and Honda, Joey and Tristan is still in there. That's all part of it.
Mm-hmm.
That's in the beginning. Okay, there's stuff from, like, the origin of his story that is, in fact, in the Duel Monsters anime, which is the one that was dubbed in the 2000s, I think? Yeah, it was the 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
And, but, there's a couple things that kind of go missing from there. Basically, the first, Yugi's first outing, or the Pharaoh's first outing after Yugi puts together the puzzle is with a school bully, school bully. Fuck. And basically, and they play this game where they basically take like stacks of cash and then stab a knife through it to get as much as possible. They put the stacks of cash over their hands and stack a knife through it to get as much of it as possible. And whoever has more wins. And then the bully tries to cheat, and then Pharaoh doesn't like that, and throws a penalty game at him using cursed ancient Egyptian magic to make him go crazy and think a pile of leaves is like several billion yen. In the anime, they do this other thing that involves like playing cards, and they're like tied together over like a precipice, and then at the end of the game, again the bully cheats, and Yugi just lets him fall to his death.
Oh.
So, don't cheat with the Pharaoh, I guess. Also, if you think the Pharaoh has the monopoly on being psychotic in the first 8 volumes, you would be wrong. Because Kaiba is, like, as much of a nutjob as Kaiba is in the Duel Monsters part, he's even worse in the original manga. Okay, so let me sizzle it for you this way. So, Kaiba and Yugi meet, and they duel the first time, and Kaiba loses, and Kaiba gets kind of butthurt about it. Kaiba gets so butthurt, in fact, he constructs a theme park of death, breaks a fucking serial killer out of Death Row, specifically to put in his theme park to kill Yuki and his friends.
As you do.
As you do, I guess. And he had all these, like, death traps and shit in there that... He's basically, like, trying to kill them until, like, Yugi gets to Kaiba dueling his grandpa, and this is when they introduced the holograms the first time. And basically, the holograms are so realistic that they give Yugi's grandpa a heart attack, so it is basically kinda like the first episode. And Kaiba did this all because he was butthurt that he wouldn't give him a Blue Eyes White Dragon.
I will always remember that classic clip from Yu-Gi-Oh! The Abridged series. Yeesh, if you love the Blue Eyes White Dragon so much, why don't you marry it? Believe me, I've tried.
But yeah, one of my favorite stories from the, like, I always call it the Shadow Games era because that's like mostly what it was about. And my favorite thing from the Shadow Games was the first outing with the Bakura. So you might remember in the show that we got dubbed that their first game with Bakura was a Duel Monsters game where they all picked their favorite cards and their souls got sealed in them, and if they die in the game, they die in real life, I guess. What happens in the manga is actually a little bit different. Actually, it's quite a bit different. So when they meet up with Bakura, because Bakura wants to do a D&D game with them. He's got miniatures. And when Yami Bakura takes over, what he does is that he takes the soul of Yugi and all of his friends and puts them in the miniatures so that if they die in the game, they die in real life. He initially intended to just throw them in the miniatures, but he didn't realize that there was another spirit in Yugi. So Yugi ended up just being the player character for everybody.
I mean, aside from that one detail, it sounds like it more or less plays out the same way.
Kind of. So Bakura taking over to try to disrupt the Millennium Ring spirit basically involves him, like, his character, he has a miniature in there, which is a white mage, but he also every so often tried to take over, like, parts of Bakura's body, like his right hand, and Yami Bakura tried to get him to stop by... So the set that he has a castle on it with a spire, so he stabbed the hand that Bakura had control of on that spire to get him to stop trying to fuck with his hands while he's rolling dice. Because he's, like, intentionally getting him to roll fumbles. I
see Dylan did Aisha from Outlaw Star.
Yes. I love Outlaw Star. Brer, look what I...
Yeah, I know. Yes, I know your handiwork when I see it, Dylan. I think I might have read some of the original volumes of Yu-Gi-Oh! And I actually was kind of taken aback, like, say, wow, this is not like the anime.
The anime takes place, like, 9 or 10 volumes after the proper start of the manga. And this is, like, long after the Pharaoh started, like, chilling out a little bit.
I want a manga-accurate Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime, damn it.
Again, it would be manga-accurate, even it's just that it started, like, in the middle of the story instead of at the beginning.
Like you said, like, originally it was pitched as a horror manga. So...
Well, basically what happened is that the Japanese fans in particular, really they really liked Kaiba, and they really wanted to see more of Kaiba, and they wanted to see more of the card game.
Mm-hmm.
So they kept asking for more Kaiba, and they kept asking for more of the card game, so eventually the manga kind of became more focused on it, so Kaiba would be involved more often.
Yeah, and I think I remember having a conversation like this with you before, that the card game was more or less an afterthought.
Yeah, it's why a lot of the rules don't make, like, the rules are kind of hard to figure out from just watching the show, because, you know, he didn't really think of it as being made into a collectible card game, and even then, with Duelist Kingdom, it was understood that the Duelist Kingdom card game had different rules. Because, you know, he kind of based it on... Like, obviously he based it on Magic the Gathering, and you know how Magic the Gathering has different formats. Rules. He kind of figured the Duelist Kingdom tournament was like that. Incidentally, the origin story of Kaiba also had to do with Magic the Gathering, because he recounted a story. Well, Kazuki Takahashi remembered a time that he was trying to get into Magic at a game shop, and he had this, like, he met this, like, really weird, smug dude who, like, crossed his arms like, collect 100 cards first, then I'll teach you how to play the game. And he was like, wow, what a smug dick. I'm making you into a character in my horror comic.
Let me guess, Jacob, this is Faye?
Yep. Just need to get see how guns look like so I can draw one.
Dylan's doing Pikachu, but it's not fat Pikachu. But it isn't fat Pikachu.
It is. I am not drawing Pikachu.
What is it, Pichu then?
It's not Pokemon.
Oh, okay. It's Gatomon, right?
Yes.
Oh, we finally have a Digimon.
Yes. Decided to give it a shot.
I think I saw only part of the first Digimon anime, and I don't remember if Gatomon was part of that group.
I think so.
She was because Angelomon was, right?
Yeah, because I actually remember because I had the PlayStation 1 game, or at least, my sister did. I just kind of watched.
Yeah, so Angelomon... Gatomon involves in the Angelomon, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, she was.
Yeah, Digimon's it's kind of like the opposite of Pokemon in a way, sort of. Like, Pokemon just seems to keep going on and on and on, whereas every Digimon series has a definitive ending, and then they just start with a new cast.
I mean, Yu-Gi-Oh does that too. Like, every Yu-Gi-Oh series ends. They kind of stopped having continuity after 5D.
Alright, this is my hot take for the episode. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
Digimon's better than Pokemon.
I mean, I'm not sure how much of a hot take that is, because that seems to be what everyone thinks that... I mean, yeah, Pokemon...
I've come across a few people that have actually contested me on that.
Really?
That have, gone, really pissed at me for saying that.
I would... Okay, I'm curious, what's the reasoning behind Pokemon being better?
I don't know, I've seen people argue... they don't really give a reasoning, they're just... they just, insult you.
Fanboyism.
Yeah,
it sounds pretty standard internet anime shit to me.
Are you gonna tell us who this is, Jacob, or am I gonna have to guess?
Well, I can tell you, but where's the fun in that?
I think I have an idea if that hand gesture is what I think it is.
Yeah, that hand is, yeah.
If that hand gesture is what I think it is, I think I know where you're going with this. Yep, I was right. It's Naga the Serpent.
Incidentally, Dylan, have you gotten the Dragon Half manga?
No, I have not.
I
once drew Sasha and dressed up as dressed up in that outfit for the Patreon.
Wait, what outfit, Dylan?
Dragon Half.
Oh, Mink's outfit.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a fun fact about Naga's outfit.
Oh, I bet there is.
Okay, this is deep Slayers lore, and I know this because 10 years ago I was friends with a guy who was really into it. Spoilers for anyone who's not that deep into Slayers. Naga and Amelia are actually sisters.
Yeah. Which is something I wanted to bring up, that it's a shame that they never met, aside from that sort of cameo of Naga in the Evolutions in the the latest series.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. When Naga left home, she took that outfit from her mother's chamber, and according to this friend, that was actually their mother's wedding dress or something. I'm not making that up. That is canon. Nebel, what is this? Oh, it's Dragon. It's Mink.
I just ended up. I wanted to draw Dragon Half again, and I just remembered that the theme song at the end of the OVA that is just about like omelets or omelet rice.
And it also has a little bit of Beethoven's 5th or 9th Symphony in it. I don't remember which one.
Yeah, they actually credit it at the end. Sure, it's a good thing too. Otherwise, Beethoven would have come out of his grave and sued their asses, I guess. Es ist mein copyright.
He can't do that. It's public domain.
Plus, how would he even know if they stole his work? He was deaf anyway.
Oh! Wait till he hears this.
Wait till he hears what?
Yeah, wait till he hears what you said.
Okay, I'll wait. Oh my god.
This is the highlight. All the bad jokes we get a good laugh out of.
Yes.
Bad jokes are the best jokes.
Unless they're dad jokes.
They are dad jokes because they were allowed to reproduce.
Oh god.
Dylan, what is this?
Oh no. It should be obvious by now.
Well,
It's
maybe
starting to look
It's
starting to
not
look
black.
familiar, but I'm drawing a blank.
Is that Super Saiyan 3?
Yes.
Ah. Give dick saucer. I don't know if that's a mistranslation or if that's actually in the original Japanese. Either way, it's hilarious.
No, as far as I know, it is because it's in the manga too. So like, all right, his name really is Dick Sauce.
Look, I know Japanese like their puns. I'm just trying to figure out what's the pun with that one.
His name is just Dick. What's weird about that?
Give dick sus. Okay, I've drawn enough legitimate stuff. I'm gonna draw a shitpost somewhere.
Dumb meanie shit.
Go ahead.
God, that dumb meanie shit is all I've been drawing.
Oh, what? Oh,
I
why,
love when she said
Jacob? Why, Jacob? Why?
You mean why?
because the joke is dying. I have so little time. That's the
It's
only chance I get.
It's dying because Jared Leto killed it.
Yeah.
Which may be the one good thing in his career he's actually done.
We've circled back to like every single episode.
Referencing past episodes is gonna make people want to watch them.
Yeah, that's how it's done today. That's how all entertainment works now. Do you remember the thing?
I remember the thing.
I clapped when I saw it.
It broke new ground.
We are completely 100% original.
Okay, we have gone this entire episode without doing any doodles that are either Sailor Moon or Ava.
Okay, I got it.
Joe Usagi getting into the thing. I don't know. I didn't watch it.
Alright, I'm gonna do some
Good.
deep Dragon Ball GT lore. It's like if you know, you know. I'm not drawing the monkey.
Oh no, I know what he's drawing now. I know what Dylan's drawing now. I know what Dylan's drawing. It's that scene.
Burn. Scorched Earth, let's go.
Okay, so you know that dance scene from JoJo Part 5? I was actually legit surprised no one tried dubbing that scene over with that song.
Oh my god.
And GT had a lot of, shall we say, interesting ideas.
Yeah, I think the only idea that Toriyama had was like the design for Super Saiyan 4. Like, that's it.
I would love to know just like what was the thought process behind this though. Who looked at this and said, this is a good idea?
The Japanese.
Is that why you'll never forgive the Japanese?
Oh god, that was classic. Like, I am about as noob as on Sailor Moon as it gets. I cannot remember the name of this cat. I remember one of them. I feel like I remember one of them being named Artemis.
Yeah, that's
Wasn't it Luna?
Minako's is or Venus's cat is Artemis.
That was the white one, right?
Yeah, Artemis is the white one. And he's also a dude. Makes it weird.
Same name in the Japanese.
I think it would be the Japanese one because the Japanese are kind of weird about dude and ladies' names.
Yeah, I mean, just look at the Fate series.
Well, that's done on purpose.
Although, considering there was a series of books named Artemis Fowl where the main character was a boy named Artemis, that's probably not that.
Yeah, but it was kind of part of the joke. Not the joke. It was kind of part of the point.
Really?
Like, they pointed it out a lot in the Artemis Fowl books that, like, yeah, people would, like, dunk on it. It was like, it's a girl's name.
Now I get it. Now I get why they named the male cat Artemis. It's a theme.
I mean, yeah, Moon.
He ends up getting together with Luna, and they end up having a daughter named Diana. Get it? Do you get it?
Yeah, that's
Yes.
that's the point. They were
I
just
see what
weird
they did
about
there.
it because, yeah, you saw what they did there.
Yeah.
It's just weird because they named a dude after the goddess of the moon instead of finding a moon god to name him after. I'm sure there is one.
I'm pretty sure I can pull one up right now.
There we go. I got our Sailor Moon and our Ava reference.
Lunar god. Yeah.
Tsukuyomi! Tsukuyomi is male.
There's also Thoth
Yep.
and Khonsu.
Although I guess Moon Knight wasn't getting involved here.
There's a Thracian moon god named Bendis.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, that's enough internet for the day. Okay, now you
Now of a sudden, Bendis being bald makes sense.
Oh no, we should depict that god in the Mythoverse and have him like speak in Bendis speak.
Oh, I might have to talk to Antonella. Oh,
Yeah.
Anyway, let's
Go. You remember that thing everybody was doing where they were drawing Sailor Moon.
Oh yeah, that was a trend on Twitter for a while.
Yeah, I drew like crackhead Usagi.
Oh, Jesus.
They also know that they originally intended her hair to be white in the manga, but it wouldn't print right when they colored it. In case nobody knows, and I'm talking about the audience, if you don't know this, Usagi is Japanese for rabbit.
Oh.
Wasn't she called Bunny in the American version?
No, she was called, I think, Selena.
Oh,
Serena.
interesting.
Or was it Serena?
Because in the Polish version she was called Bunny, but there was no dub. It was like a lecture narration.
Oh yeah.
It-
Oh yeah, I think I saw one of Aiden Paladin's videos, and she said like a lot of like foreign media that ends up in Poland, it doesn't get dubbed over, you're just subtitled.
Well, that's funny, because, in TV, for stuff like Pokemon, it had a dubbing, and for Slayers, for example, we had just person narrating what was said, and for Dragon Ball, we had the French version, I think, that was narrated by someone.
Really?
It was all over the place, yeah, and we had like the intro song wasn't Japanese, it was some French or Italian version, so it was just crazy. It was really confusing.
But yeah, I mean, like a lot, but the way Poland kind of, like the way Poland tends to localize foreign media is like they won't give it like a proper dub. They'll just sort of like put Polish subtitles over it and have Polish actors, I think, speaking over it.
No, that's what.
Yes, something like that was sometimes done. Yeah, right now, currently, there's mostly both ways. People are either having dub or subtitles. At least for cinemas, you mostly have dubbed versions of movies and with subtitles, because a lot of people hate dubs. So yeah.
Oh lord, I really hope that's Mr. Popo.
Yes, it is Mr. Popo.
Give him the turban.
We are so getting demonetized for this.
Were we even monetized at all?
Probably are, but we don't get enough views at this time for it to matter.
It's alright, so I don't give a shit.
People are gonna
have
see
Mink asking for dick. It's awesome.
Oh, that's Sailor Mercury, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
people are gonna see this in like 10 years after we all go woke and shit.
Oh god.
And try to cancel us with.
You wanna know something? Mark Pellegrini pointed this out on Twitter. The funny thing about Sailor Mercury is she is a water sailor, and yet her gimmick is also she likes computers and electronics.
She is the spurt. I mean, I guess it's playing against type a little bit, so, you know.
I thought for a second maybe like there were like water signs were associated with intelligence, but no, they're not. They're more like.
I mean, the signs aren't, but sometimes it gets associated with that just by virtue of.
But yeah, I mean. But yeah, let me put it this way: if you want one of the Sailor Scouts that plays more accurately to type as far as water signs go, like that would be Sailor. I think was it Saturn or Uranus? I can't. No, I think it's Neptune. She has water-based abilities, and she also has traits that are more closer to what's a water sign. Like they're deep, they're spiritual, they're empathetic.
Ah yes, Mr. Popo is the knight who says "neat."
He's about to.
Wait.
He's saying the game. He's about to say the gamer word.
Wait, I got an idea. Are you guys ready?
That's why he's so powerful.
Uh-huh.
Oh, Dylan, what are you about to do?
No, dude, I mean, listen, if Mr. Popo is able to just use gamer words whenever he wants, no wonder he's so powerful. Oh, God, dude!
Dill.
Oh, Jesus. We're gonna
Oh, no! No!
Oh, God. Alright, that's enough current year for now. I think we're done.
It's Justin Trudeau!
Okay. Well, I think we're about done.
Yeah.
I understood that reference.
Okay, me drawing Mr. Popo was okay, but me making a joke about Justin Trudeau was too much.
No.
You motherfuckers!
You don't joke about Justin Trudeau. He's a very serious man.
Motherfucker will come and lock you up. He's coming for you right now, Dylan. He's coming on his cloud. I heard you talking shit, Mr. Fagin, but we're not gonna have it.
Okay. I think this is easily going to be one of our best episodes.
Oh,
yes,
we're improving with each one, so that's it.
And I'm trying not to slur my speech. I've heard myself in the last episodes. I'm like, gah, you know.
Imagine when people start downloading these and making compilations.
Oh no.
You know, we could probably do that, like, down the road, like, make, like, the best moments.
Let's wait till we get, like, about a year's worth of content in first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves here.
Well, yeah, I mean, down the road, yeah.